You must have had this kind of experience before. A baby is staring at you, not blinking, not looking away, locked onto your face with an intensity that makes even grown adults feel a little self-conscious. Most people just laugh it off, maybe wave, or make a weird noise hoping to get a reaction. But you would never guess that developmental neuroscientists have spent the last 2 decades trying to figure out exactly what earth-shattering changes are happening inside that tiny skull during those long, unblinking stares. What they discovered won't just completely overturn how you see babies. It will reshape how you understand human consciousness itself. If you are curious about the hidden world of the human brain and love using hardcore science to solve life's mysteries, hit that subscribe button right now and drop a like on this video. Because what comes next is going to blow your mind. Let's start with the most obvious guess. Many people think babies stare because their vision is terrible, and a human face just happens to be the most interesting thing in their immediate line of sight. Sounds reasonable, right? Newborns do have a limited visual range of about 8 to 12 inches, roughly the exact distance from your arms to your face when you hold them. But there is a fatal flaw in this theory. By the time a baby is 3 months old, their visual range is good enough to clearly see practically anything in the room: the ceiling, the window, the dog, the pile of laundry in the corner. Yet they still precisely choose to lock onto your face every single time. That is not blurry vision. That is a fierce, deliberate preference. And when scientists started digging into the real reason why, they found something in the data that nobody expected. In 2017, a research team from the University of Cambridge published a landmark study in PNAS, one of the most prestigious scientific journals on the planet. They used a technique called functional near-infrared spectroscopy to measure the neural activity of both infants and adults during face-to-face interaction. What the scientists were really looking for was brainwave synchronization, and what they found made the entire academic world gasp. When a baby locks eyes with you, in that exact moment of intense gaze, their brainwaves begin to sync with yours. The same frequencies, the same rhythms, firing across 2 separate brains simultaneously. They ran control tests. If the adult looked away, the sync disappeared. If the adult kept a neutral face, the sync weakened. Only mutual, 2-way eye contact produced the strongest neural coupling researchers had ever recorded between 2 individuals of different ages. This means your baby isn't just looking at you. They are locking their developing brain onto yours, using your neural activity as a scaffold, a template to build their own. A baby's stare is, at its core, a human brain teaching another human brain how to be human. But it gets even crazier, because babies don't stare at everyone the exact same way. Researchers at Harvard Medical School ran a deceptively simple experiment. They showed 3-month-old infants 2 faces, a stranger's face and their primary caregiver's face. The results showed that the infants stared at the stranger significantly longer. This might sound completely backwards until you understand what cognitive scientists call the violation of expectation response. Babies spend more time staring at things they haven't fully figured out yet. To them, a stranger is an unknown puzzle, an unprocessed database. But the caregiver's face, by 3 months, that baby has already logged thousands of hours processing every detail of that face, every micro-expression, every muscle twitch, every shift in tone. When they look at you, their closest person, they aren't confused. They are accurately reading you. Researchers at the University of Washington found that by 5 months old, babies can distinguish between a genuine smile and a fake one. By 6 months, they constantly track your emotional state and use it to decide how they should respond to the world around them, a process developmental psychologists call social referencing. If you look scared, they freeze. If you look excited, they reach for the object in front of them. If you look calm, they feel safe to explore. That long, unblinking stare is actually high-density data collection. Your baby is building a real-time emotional map of your face and using it to calibrate their own understanding of what is safe and what is dangerous. You are no longer just their parent. You are literally the external hard drive for their nervous system. Next, I need to tell you about an experiment that was once so deeply unsettling it sparked years of ethical debate within the field of developmental psychology. This is the still face paradigm, designed by Dr. Edward Tronick at Harvard in 1975. The setup is incredibly simple. A mother interacts normally with her infant, smiling, talking, responding. The baby is thrilled, actively engaged, and totally focused on the mother's face. Then, on cue, The mother suddenly goes completely blank. No expression, no emotion, no response. Her eyes are open, but it is as if her soul has been drained out. What happens in the 2 brief minutes that follow has become one of the most thoroughly studied behavioral sequences in the history of psychology. The baby notices immediately. They try to win their mother back, flashing big smiles, pointing at things, vocalizing, using every single trick that normally works. Nothing. They try harder, making bigger gestures and more desperate, urgent sounds. Still nothing. Within just 90 seconds, most infants show extreme physiological stress responses. Cortisol levels spike. Heart rate soar. Some completely break down crying, while others just give up, retreating into an emotional shutdown that mirrors the mother's empty, cold stare. When the mother finally breaks character and re-engages, the baby's emotions recover quickly. But it is not instant. Dr. Tronick drew a shocking conclusion from 2 decades of running this study. Babies are absolutely not passive recipients of care. They are highly active participants in a constant emotional conversation. And this conversation happens almost entirely through the face. A baby's stare isn't just admiration, and it isn't just confusion. It is high-level communication. On the most fundamental level, your baby is talking to you with their eyes, and they desperately want and need you to answer back. Behind all of this, there is a deeper secret that almost no one outside of academia ever talks about. What exactly are babies quietly constructing during all those long stares? Beyond just emotional attunement, researchers at MIT's Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences have spent years studying infant visual processing, and their discovery rewrites everything we thought we knew about intelligence. In the first 6 months of life, infants who experience more contingent face-to-face interactions, meaning when they send a signal, it gets noticed and responded to, show significantly more advanced development in their prefrontal cortex. What is the prefrontal cortex? It is the core region of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, and complex social behavior. It is the underlying architecture of adult cognition. When you are being stared at by a baby, and you stare back with love, you aren't just bonding. You are literally doing neurological construction work. Every time you catch their gaze, every time you mirror their expression, every time you respond to the light in their eyes, you are physically assembling the supercomputer that will run your child's mind for the rest of their life. Because of this, I have to give you a serious medical warning. If you notice a baby who never looks at people, consistently avoids eye contact, doesn't track your facial expressions, and seems to look right through you rather than at you, do not just brush it off as a quirky personality trait. Reduced or absent gaze behavior in infancy is one of the earliest, most observable biological markers that researchers link to atypical social development. Now, this doesn't guarantee something is terribly wrong. Every baby has their own developmental timeline, but pediatric neuroscientists are completely clear on one thing. Early identification changes everything. The brain's plasticity in the first 2 years of life is at a peak it will never reach again. An intervention at 6 months old produces astonishing results that an intervention at 2 years old simply cannot replicate. So, if something about a baby's stare, or their lack of it, feels slightly off to you, trust your gut. Because from the very first hour they were born, you have been continuously reading that face. You are absolutely the most precise, sensitive infant facial detection instrument on the planet. So, the next time a baby locks eyes with you from across the room and refuses to look away, remember the miracle that is taking place. Their brain is reaching out its tendrils to you. They are using your face to learn how to be a real human being, how to feel emotions, how to tell danger from safety, and how to survive in a world filled with other humans. 15,000 years of long evolution didn't just accidentally give babies those massive, round, irresistible eyes. Those eyes are the most precise, advanced social interface our species has ever evolved. And the moment that interface locks onto yours, the only correct response is to warmly, firmly stare back. If today's video completely flipped your perspective on babies, or gave you that aha moment, please do me a favor and drop a like on this video. It tells the algorithm to recommend this high-quality content to more people, and it is the biggest motivation for me to keep bringing you hardcore science. Also, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. Let me know down in the comments. Have you ever had a moment where a baby stared at you so hard it made you feel a little uneasy? Because if you have, now you finally know exactly what their little brains were plotting, And if you want to know why babies will suddenly start laughing at absolutely nothing in an empty, dark corner at 3 a.m., what exactly are they seeing that we can't? That is the mystery we are cracking in the next video. And the scientific truth behind it is weirder than any urban legend you've ever heard. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.